The next stop is On the Radar Radio.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Sir, baby, On the Radar Radio. Yo, special guest in the building. My guy's in the building. Kenyon Dixon in the building.
Yes,
My guy, what's up?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's
I like
good,
this
man?
jacket.
I appreciate it.
Where'd you get it from?
Murder Bravado. Who decides war?
That's so. I like it's like the stained glass panels. I feel like
Yeah.
anything that got like that type of joint on it,
Yeah, they
it's
got
hard to me.
some pants like this too. That's pretty fire.
That's dope. How you been?
Pretty good, man. Tired, but
I know. Thank you for being here straight
of
off the
course.
flight.
Thank you for having me, man. A lot of good motion though. So
Because you've been on tour, right?
yeah, on tour. Then on tour again.
Oh,
then on
another tour.
Yeah, but you know we love it. It's what we work for.
Right. I feel like a couple we always talk about the pandemic now, but it's like back in 2020, everybody's like, oh, I want to go on tour, and then
Yeah.
now it's like we sit here and like I talk to artists, they're like, yo, bro, I ain't gonna lie to you, I just want to go home.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
nobody expected that much touring. It's amazing though, man. Honestly, I can't complain.
You weren't expecting this much touring.
Yeah, but you know, still grateful for it. But it is it's a lot of work, man. You got to really be like committed to and in love with the craft to be able to, you know, just kind of move around 24/7. So
How much touring you got left for the year?
pretty much done after this week, and then I
Nice.
have like 2 one-offs where I'm just
Chilling.
fly there, come back to the crib. So it's you know, we getting kind of mellow.
You had a really busy year though. I ain't gonna lie, bro.
It's been a crazy year, man.
With the project, the deluxe,
Yeah.
but like you said, it's like a lot of forward motion.
Yeah, it's good motion. Dropped the project. Did my first headlining tour surrounding that project, which was like, you know, the North American tour. Came off of that. We had came off of that, filmed 2 seasons of a TV show for like a month and a half. 2 days after that, international run of the tour. Then 2 more days after that, promo for the deluxe. So yeah.
Wait,
Been
so
out.
you said this a show. Can you talk about that yet or no?
Yeah. So I'm on this next season of a show called That's My Jam, hosted by
dope.
Jimmy Fallon. BBC also picked it up. So their host Mo Gilligan in the UK, you know, they did a season 2. So it's a musical game show. It's really cool. You just got to check it out. I don't want to spoil it and give it away, but there has been like a season. This is the second season, but this season is a lot different than the first season. So. Yeah,
You can't say how it's different.
Yeah.
But you were you're on both the British one and this one?
Yeah, we filmed them at the same time.
Crazy,
man.
bro.
We were filming 2 episodes a day, doing like 12, 13-hour days. So
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So what's your role on the show?
so there's like a house band, and so you have a singer, a male singer, and a female singer, and so I'm the guy singer on the show.
Nice.
Like a part of the band, and you have guests come on and they play like different games, and so like I sing a lot of this stuff, and they get to guess kind of like, you know, depending on the premise of the game. But yeah, I play a huge role in making sure that they can identify the songs.
That's dope, bro. Congrats.
Thanks, man. It's super cool.
How'd you get called up for that?
So a good friend of mine, Adam Blackstone, MD'd for everybody from Justin Timberlake to Rihanna to SZA, like everybody possible. I worked with Adam for a long time, and so he does a lot of TV stuff. Like he's MD for like Soul Train Awards and BET Awards and stuff like that. So he's been getting more into TV and film, and so he hit me to come and do this season of the show.
So all based off the strength of the friendships and
Yeah,
shit.
man. All based off of it.
How's your experience on the show?
It's pretty cool, man. It's different. TV is a lot different because there's like, when you're doing live shows and concerts, you got like one chance to nail everything.
Right.
And so you're in and out. But TV, like you can be there for literally all day, like running things until they're perfect. And the slightest mess up is a reason to go back and do everything all over again. So it's super, super unpredictable because it has to be like executed perfectly. So yeah, for me, somebody who likes to get in and out, it's a challenge.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I'm like come on, man. Like, you know, it's like when we do like the rap freestyles and they do more than one take or whatever. And then I just be here, I'd be like,
Be like, come on, man.
Come on, man. Come
Yeah.
on. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, like, you know, that's all part of you know what we signed up for. Too, at the end of the day.
Sure.
You think you do another season, or is there a possibility that you're gonna get called up for another season?
I don't know. Man. We'll see.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
But that's pretty cool that you get to be in both, like the British and the American version too.
Yeah, that was pretty dope. I tell you one thing I can mention. British, especially on BBC, it's a lot different than like shows in the States. Because like for instance, an hour show in the US is really like 35, 40 minutes because you got commercials.
Yeah.
They don't have commercials on this particular network. So an hour show is an hour show. So it took much longer to film the British version of the show because there's no commercial breaks whatsoever. So
God damn.
yeah.
So the British version's longer too.
Way longer. A whole like hour with no cuts whatsoever.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man, it's wild.
What network is it? Did they say?
BBC.
Oh, it's BBC.
Yep.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yep, BBC London. So
God damn.
yeah, man.
I can't imagine what that was like too, because it's like, because then you got to take more takes. It's not like a half hour. It's not short. It's,
Yeah, your day is gone. So once you get there, you might as well prepare to just stick around.
Damn. Well, congrats on that.
Thank you.
It's interesting because you be playing like the front end with doing the music and going on your own tour, but then like you've also played the back end on like a
Yeah.
lot of times too. Like I even I went deep into your Twitter, bro. Like I
Yeah.
went deep. Like I found like this old tweet from like what year was it home? I scrolled all the way away, but it was like a tweet. You had realized that you were talking about Beyonce's "Black is King," right?
Oh yeah.
And I'm trying to hold on. I'm gonna scroll because I know here it is. You said watching Black is King, and well, I was in it. I really didn't know, and I put old tweet next to it. I forgot what year it was.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously, when Black is King came out, probably like what was that, 2020, early 2021.
Yeah. That's, I think 2021.
Yeah, but like, was that like actually like you just realized that you were?
Yeah,
in
man. So I got a call from her MD, Derek Dixie.
Okay.
And he asked me to come and be a part of something. We didn't really get any specifications. So I showed up. Once I get there, I realized, all right, cool, it's for Beyonce. And so we filmed all of this stuff. And again, you're under like, some NDAs and like, so you can't really speak about
Of course.
much that's going on. However, even in the NDA, there's like no disclosure of what the project is. So we filmed it, never knew what it was.
Beyonce wasn't there.
She was there.
Oh, she was there.
So I knew it was for her, but I didn't know what we were filming. Like, had no idea. So I'm watching Black is King, and there was a scene while we were waiting for our scene. I remember a scene that was happening like down on the floor because our scene was like shot up in like it was like upstairs in this building, and so we watched this scene like watch however many times they did that one scene, and so I'm watching Black is King, and I see that scene that I was watching, and I'm like, nah, no way, this can't be what this was.
Yeah.
And then that scene finishes and then the camera like pans and it shows us, and I was like, so I'm literally watching, I'm like, yo, this is what we filmed. So I had no idea that it was for Black is King.
You're like, I know that's not who I think it is.
Yeah, man, that was pretty crazy. And I worked with her before, but it's like, yeah, that was a pretty dope and like big moment, but I was genuinely surprised. Like I had no idea that it was for that movie.
That's crazy that like that's how that moves now. You know what I'm saying? Like in the
Yeah.
sense of like where it's like they'll just call you and they'll be like, we need your talents for something.
Yeah.
And they won't tell you what it is. And then like you get there and you see her and you're like, cool. What the fuck is this still? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's
Yeah.
obviously something gonna be happening, but like what is it?
Yeah, there's certain people you can trust with stuff like that. Like because I've worked with that level of artist for like most of my career.
Yeah.
And working with somebody like Derek, who it's like you can trust a call from him and he can trust me to, show up and
Keep your mouth shut after the fact.
and do whatever we need to get done. Yeah. So there's just certain people like that work in a certain caliber and that you trust and they trust you in those type of moments. So
You have to keep it very tight-lipped.
Oh
after
yeah,
that.
man. That's the underlying always.
You're gonna be the Beyonce snipers that like right outside your window at all times.
Hey man, you know what I'm saying? They might pop up while you sleep.
The second you slip, you on the phone with a shorty, you like, you know what I did last night? Bah!
Yeah, they like, yeah, just a reminder. You make sure you be quiet. But nah, it was that was pretty cool. That was a really dope moment. So that tweet was like my genuine response, like in the moment, I'm watching it and I'm tweeting like, yo, I didn't know I was in this movie.
And then also, damn, I was gonna say something else about it, and I just blanked. But like, then you're also in the the credits at the end too, then, right?
Yeah, yep.
That's fire,
In the credits,
bro.
man.
That's fire. So is it easy for you to transition from doing like the background stuff to then focusing on your own solo stuff? Because I know that could be a whole different type of balancing act in and of itself too. Sometimes also.
Yeah, so I think my story is interesting because technically I started as an artist first, and I was really young. I was like in high school, putting out music on like MySpace and then SoundCloud, and then right when I graduated from high school, I went on the road singing background like for artists. So that's where I started to like cultivate the professional aspect of the craft and kind of learn how, learn how the industry as far as like being a vocalist worked. And so, I toured with other artists for like 10, 12 years or so. And then just kind of went full-fledged into my own stuff. So that's not like a world I'm in anymore, but I also was able to balance it too. So while I was touring, singing background, like I was still an artist, still doing shows on my off days, like on my own in cities where we will have like the day off. At one point I was on tour singing background for an artist and on tour opening for another artist on their tour on the days off that we had because the cities were kind of lining up.
Like adjacent type shit.
Yeah, man. So that was wild, but it showed me, showed me what you can get when you hustle. So
yeah. So you would be like doing one thing one day and then flying out opening the
Literally.
other day and then going back.
Literally.
Somehow it all lined up perfectly too.
It's crazy how it worked out, man.
That's God.
100%.
There's no other explanation for that.
Yeah, man. It was, it's a lot, but I love it. If I had to do it again, I would, because I love the space that I'm in now. So
Closer. When you went into making this well, first of all, you got a few incredible people on this project. Gwen Bunn is a good friend of mine.
I love Gwen.
Actually, Gwen was one of the first artists on this show back in 2018.
Okay. It's my girl.
Obviously, you got D on it too. You know what I'm saying?
It's my brother.
Great project. Going into it, like with this new album, like what was your initial thought when you were starting to conceptualize what you were trying to make this time around?
Man, with Closer, to be honest, I just wanted to. It was my effort at making a classic album. I feel like I typically put out that type of music, but this one was more intentional because the conversation was really at its height about like modern R&B and people saying that R&B is dead and questioning if artists today could even make classic records still. And so I sat down and was like, I think there's no better way to confront the conversation than to actually like put the music out, because it's easy to talk about it. I can get on Twitter all day and go back and forth sharing opinions about what I think, but I can also just give you what I know, which is how to make this music. And so I listened to a lot of my heroes like Anita Baker, Marvin Gaye, Luther, just really tapped into the soul of like classic R&B music. And I studied them and I sat down and really crafted this project from scratch, worked with some amazing, other creatives and producers, and just pulled it together.
That's fire, bro. And I think you did just that. And then obviously Deluxe came out not long after that too.
Yeah.
It's funny because you bring up the conversation about R&B because, all right, so I just had Division here the other day too,
Okay.
right? Similar conversation we were having.
Got you.
And it was funny because you had tweeted about Karma and we were talking about Karma, and with their project.
Yeah.
But similar sentiment. It's like people say, okay, people are claiming R&B is dead. What's the best way to do it than just tackle with music?
Yeah, there's literally no better way, because I think that duality has always been there. Like there's always been exceptional music and music that generally comes off as like subpar. So I really hate that our generation of creatives like get the flack as far as like that they think that's the only kind of music we can make, and we still have the range. You have great artists and not so great artists in every single era, from the 80s to the 90s to the early 2000s. So it's no different now. Like there's an oversaturation of music and an overproduction of it, so it's probably harder to sift through and find the jewels like in the noise, but it's there. So I just think we can use our platforms to talk about the negative in the state, or you can use it to just promote good music instead.
Right. No, I agree. I think like when you say oversaturation, like definitely. There's definitely like a lot of music, like you know what I'm saying, like 60,000+ songs drop every Friday, whatever the ridiculous number is and shit like that. So it was like even with R&B, there's like an oversaturation of R&B. There's not so much like a concentration sometimes. Even hip hop, there's not like a concentration on like one sound or one thing. You know what I'm saying? It's all like a lot of stuff, which is a good and bad thing at the same time.
Yep. Yeah, I think I don't know, man. You know, with technology advancing, which is a good thing, it has its pros and its cons because I think there's that oversaturation. Because the chances of you walking into somebody's house in the early 90s and them having a home studio was way more slim than today. Now you got all of this, all the different DAWs and programs to record available on like laptops, and people can learn as they go, where before you kind of had to be like a little more developed and schedule time and work with so many different people. But you got one-stop shops now. You got young kids who are learning how to write, produce, mix all by themselves, and they don't have to wait on anybody else to, validate that. So I think that more than anything, what we're up against is just creativity, like more people not being told what to do, and they just get to put out the music that they love. But I think the beauty of that is you can either subscribe to it or not. If you like any earlier music better, that's the beauty of DSPs, because it's all available now. Yep. So if you don't want to hear what's here now, go listen to the music that you love.
I agree. There's like more options. I remember back in the day when I was talking to my uncle was talking about how he hated that you could just buy songs off iTunes. Like, and this when I was a kid, when like iPods were first just kind of coming out. I'm like, but I like that because then I don't have to buy the whole album. Yeah. If I don't want to buy the whole album, I might just like one song from the artist. I don't know.
True, man. As an artist, that's a tricky space for me because I think definitely I've heard some albums where I'm like, I like
this
number
one song,
3, number 7, But I also feel like some albums are meant to be experienced in like their totality.
True.
So I understand that from the perspective of a creative, where it's like the magic in some music is in the entire work. So when you strip it and only listen to like a single song and you take it out of context, then it's like, it gives you the opportunity to form a different opinion. Kind of like what happened with Adele, because remember Spotify took that it was a button, like it was like a skip button or something that they took off.
Yeah, I remember that. What was it?
Because she was saying that she wanted them to be able to
some shuffle button.
It was like shuffle, I think, because they needed to be able to listen to the whole album from top to bottom. But I think, that may be more on the extreme side. But to that point, I think she understood that the art and what she was presenting, its biggest value was in the context. So she wanted it to be received from like top to bottom. So yeah, I get it as a consumer and as a creator.
Well, also, like, not every artist puts together a body of work that's supposed, like, sometimes.
Absolutely.
Of course, plenty of times artists just kind of throw 15 songs together and they're like, all right, cool.
They have nothing in common.
Yeah. So it's like that. In that case, it's like 1, 5, 13. Cool, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like,
nah, I'm with you. Yeah, that the consumer in me gets that completely, because like I said, there's still songs albums that I listen to and I'm like, there's just certain songs I won't play. So I get it. But if it's good, then you can play a whole album through. Confessions, for instance.
Of course.
Play that from top to bottom. Kaleidoscope Dream.
Yep.
Play that from top to bottom. Closer. You play that from top to bottom.
Top to bottom.
You know what I'm saying? That's just.
I think of like albums with like storytelling on it. Like when I was 15, Take Care came out. Drake's Take Care. Like that for me is an album that like I can listen to from top to bottom.
Absolutely.
And there's like a cohesive. You know what I'm saying? Like a story going on and in like undertones and other themes and shit like that. Like it makes sense. And then there's other albums. I'm not gonna say who or what or when. But like that I'm just like, all right, I like this one song.
Yeah.
And that's it.
I got you. Nah, that makes sense, man.
Closer. Top to bottom though.
Yeah, the fans call it the No Skips album.
The No Skips. I saw some of the tweets.
Yeah, that's why we called the tour the No Skips tour, because it's crazy how they formulated that all on their own. Like you would have thought a text or something went out that was like, call the album No Skips, because religiously every post, every tweet, everything was somebody saying, man, this album has no skips. Everybody at the same time. And I was like, this is wild that y'all are all saying this. Also, incredible promo. So I'm going to take it. we're gonna call the tour No Skips, and we're gonna do the album from top to bottom live. So that's how the shows went, man. And
Oh, so you're doing the whole album top to bottom?
top to bottom, every show.
Are you playing other songs though from like your discography?
Yes, I tap into some of the other songs like later in the show. I can say that now that the tour is done. But, yeah, I do. Literally, I did every song from top to bottom except for I took one song out, which was the biggest single off of the project. So I do all the songs except that one, revisit the old catalog, and then close with that last song.
Obviously, This is a smart way to do it. I would say artists should start doing shit like that because I think of like albums that I really love, like let's say when I love 2014 Forest Hills Drive in college, right? Like Jake, I would have loved if I went to his show and he just did it from top to bottom and then did some other
amazing.
shit. Yeah.
I think a lot of artists. So it speaks to what you just said because I think a lot of artists do throw songs together and they don't connect with a full body of work all the time. But like this was an intentional full body of work. So even performing the songs out of order felt weird for me. So like my first show, I didn't have the songs in order. Although I still did every song, I arranged them differently. And after that first show, I was like, it doesn't feel right because I made this song to come after this song and this one, you know what I'm saying? Because it curates and facilitates the energy. And I think that when the fans are there watching the show, that kind of makes their experience because their emotions and their energy is connected to the flow of the album. So we went back in after that first show and I was like, let's just do it, like top to bottom. Take that one song out, put it at the end. So I think, but I think a lot of artists won't do that because also they're not in love with every song on their album. So they have to, really be able to connect with them. And then as a singer, there's a lot of stuff that you can do in the studio and get away with that a lot of artists aren't comfortable doing live on stage. So like, thankfully, everything I recorded is something that I'm comfortable being able to perform. I can perform every song on the album, on the deluxe album, like no problem. So I think that's what made it extra special. Because there are those projects where there are those songs that are just like album songs, and you're like, this sounds amazing, but I could never pull this off live. But thankfully, we're good.
God bless.
Yeah.
Closer Deluxe out now.
Closer Deluxe is out.
What else you got coming up? What else do the people got to know about?
Man, so I'm releasing another version of Closer.
Fire.
That it's like some remixes.
Okay.
I don't want to say too much because I want it to still be a little bit of a surprise, but remix the whole album in a certain style, kind of like a different genre. So I can't wait. I can't wait to drop that. And going back on the road soon. So Closer Deluxe, new music. The fans are already ready for another round before they even knew the Deluxe was coming after the first tour. So first tour went over extremely well. We get to go out now, play some bigger venues, and it's gonna be a good time, man.
Can't wait, man. Well, congrats on everything. Looking forward to seeing what you do next. Looking forward to this new project, what I'm saying, the new switch up that you about to do. Before we get out of here, let the people know they can follow you. Anything else you want to let your fans know? Now is the time to do it. This camera right here.
Yes, sir. So if you love R&B, only if you really love R&B, you can catch me on all major DSPs, Kenyon, Dixon. My socials, Kenny Got Soul, pretty much all the way around, Twitter, Instagram, and the R&B Connect. So any of those places, I'm there with some amazing vibes for you to tap into.
Boom. There you have it.
Yes,
Make sure you go tap in, go follow him, go run up Closer Deluxe out now.
Yes,
go
sir.
follow him, go show him some love, go show him some support. Love is free, support is free. The album isn't, but you can stream that anyway. Till next time, Kenyon Dixon on
Yes,
the radar.
sir.
We out. Boom. My God.
My guy.
I started adding the album.